Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Dr. Anthony Mattis, and today I wanted to talk to you about when you're waiting for someone to give you the green light. And, what does that mean actually? Um, so let me share a little story about a really good friend of mine, the creator of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas. And, you know, so how many of you out there actually, when you think about creating something or maybe changing tracks in your life, changing careers, or maybe getting out of a relationship that hasn't been working for you, an abusive relationship, or maybe just a relationship just dried up. It's not working. You guys aren't really creating together anymore. You're certainly not having sex anymore. And so who or what are you waiting for? Like that, if you had them give you the permission to make that choice to move on, or to make that choice to write that book or write that song, or to quit that job and go find a different career, or finally leave that abusive relationship, or just a relationship that's just dead. you know um who or what are you waiting for to give you the green light? And it's like, for me, it was like I needed permission to be me. um I'm not going to get into all the reasons why that's the case. You could probably listen to other podcasts that I've done and other videos that I've done. But one thing that I've always known was that, I was always told I was too much, too hyper, too much energy, too deep. Um, you know, and so I would learn to sort of hold myself back. Sorry about that. I would learn to hold myself back. Why? Because I didn't want to push people away. I actually to some degree, I liked people. I liked hanging out with people. I liked having friends. But it's like when you're told you're being too much, and it's like you start to doubt yourself a little bit. You start to doubt, you know, yeah, maybe I'm different. Maybe me being different is not a contribution. And so, what I actually realized was, really up until just recently, to be honest with you, that I am different. And not everybody is maybe as deep or as intense as I am. And I just thought everybody was. I'm like, what's the whole point of living if you're not going to, you know, get out of everything the depthness of what that is, whatever that is, whether it's, you're in a loving relationship, whether it's a job that you're at, exercising, making love, whatever. It's like, why wouldn't you want the most intense, glorious version of whatever that is? Buying clothes, whatever the case may be, buying a car, no matter what your budget is. Why wouldn't you want to have the best of what you can afford? You know what I mean? And so, for me, I had to learn how to sort of hold myself back. And I'll never forget when I started Access Consciousness 9 years ago, and all these different things started to show up in my life after all the hell that I had been through and the tragedy that I suffered from. And you can listen to my other videos and calls. I don't want to get into all that if you haven't heard it before, but um, if you want to check it out, just go to my website at dranthonymattis.com, dranthonymattis.com, and there's a bunch of videos on there that kind of goes into my whole life story. But anyway, by the time I got to Access Consciousness, it was about halfway through, about 5 years. And I remember Gary saying to me, the founder of Access Consciousness, he's like, we're waiting for you to be you. He's like, when are you going to be the weirdo that you truly are? And he's like, how much longer are you going to actually be fighting to be normal or to stay normal? And I was like, oh my God, it was sort of like a punch in the gut, but not in a bad way. It was like one of those like aha moments. I'm like, wow. It was like for someone to actually give me permission for me to be all of me, that's huge. Because I thought that I was always told I was too much. Right. And then if I continue to be too much, I won't have any friends. If I continue to be too much, I might get fired from a job. If I can, continue to be too much, I won't have any patients or clients or whatever the case may be. And what I realized that, especially as an access consciousness facilitator, there is no such thing as too much. People need you to be too much, because it's in the too much where your potency lies. It's in the too much is where your gift lies. And it's in the too much where you could actually facilitate someone beyond their limitations. Because if you're not willing to be too much, then you're not being an energy that's required to crack someone's universe and facilitate them through whatever problems or hangups or dramas and traumas that they're going through, even abuse and all of that. And so I started to see what a gift it is in the world. And I decided, I'm like, I'm not going to hold myself back from anybody. And if nobody likes it, they can go away. They can simply go away. And I'll never forget Dr. Dane here, a very good friend of mine, co-creator of Access Consciousness. He's like, I need you to be too much. So it's like, who or what are you waiting for? Now, I needed to get the green light from those guys because I have a ton of respect for them. And they saw things in me that I've been trying to access and bring out for years and years and years through all the different modalities that I studied, religions, philosophies, you name it. The list goes on and on. And so when they're like, I need you to be too much, I was literally like, huh? So in my particular case, I needed the green light from something outside of myself. But what if you don't have somebody around? What if you're not surrounded by someone or some people that have the gift to actually see all of you? No matter how insecure you might be about yourself, no matter how limited you may perceive yourself to be, how many of you actually have someone in your life that actually sees all of you? And they actually don't judge you. And when you have the gift to be around someone who doesn't judge you, it creates this space for you to actually to go forward, to be you. And then once you kind of get going and you're busy creating your life, creating your life, you don't care who's judging you. You don't care which friends are dropping out of your life. And they're not necessarily doing it in a mean way. They just don't call you anymore. Why? Because you're too much for them, And so, but my invitation to you is, what would it take for you to give yourself the green light? What are you waiting for? Because you may not have somebody show up. Hell, it took me years. And years and years and years and years and years. I've been around a lot of mentors, a lot of gurus that would say I have a lot of potential and this, that, and the other thing. And I get that. But that after a while, it gets so annoying. It's like, okay, what would it take for me to access this quote unquote potential? Whatever the fuck that is. I got tired of hearing that shit. I don't fucking give a shit about potential. Potential is basically like you have all this amazingness inside of you and fucking not doing anything with it. And then I was trying really hard. To access that and to generate and create my life with it. No matter what I did, it would just be a failure. And so, but what would it take for you to give yourself the green light and just go? Because from my point of view, it's like, look, we are infinite beings, okay? We live indefinitely. But this particular body, as Anthony, all right, and the being inside and everywhere else, okay? This particular person right here, in these 10 seconds in this lifetime, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait the next lifetime or 10 lifetimes from now. I desire it now. Ready, set, go. What are you waiting for? Because we are on a clock, so to speak. And I know time is a construct. I get it. But this body, the body that you currently have, and the being who's utilizing that body, you're just here for a little bit. And it's like, if you had 10 seconds to live the rest of your life, what would you choose? Would you choose to worry about the past? And every decision you make in the now moment is based on trying not to make the same mistakes from the past? That's no way to create your life. Are you going to be worrying about tomorrow that doesn't even exist? Tomorrow doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is right now in these 10 seconds. And so that's one of the greatest tools for me and access is like, if you had 10 seconds to live the rest of your life, what would you choose? And that really got me to be in the present moment. And that tool in and of itself was the green light as well. But yeah, I did need to hear it from somebody that I really respected. But the people that I heard it from have this incredible gift to see all of you, the being. And to me, that's one of the greatest gifts that Access Consciousness as a whole can provide for you when you are finding a difficult time accessing the essence of who you are, the essence of your being. So my invitation to you is, when are you going to be all of you? Because the world needs you to be everything you are, whatever that is, especially now, September 2nd, 2021, especially in these times. Okay. The world needs you to be everything you are. It needs you to be too much. All right. I hope to see you someday in person. And thanks for listening. Bye for now.